Welcome to the For the Love of the Game podcast with Johnny K. This week, episode 5, 2024, A Year in Review. Johnny looks back at a year packed with calling the hockey playoffs, learning to take better care of himself, and celebrating the wins and lessons with the team at For the Love of the Game. It's been a year to remember, full of growth, challenges, and triumphs. Let's get into it.
John Colias for the Love of the Game podcast. Happy New Year. Hope you had a great Christmas. The podcast has been going not too bad. I decided back in June last year that I wanted to do a podcast, and the first podcast would be by the end of the year. But we're a little ahead of schedule. Thanks for listening, everyone. Love the feedback, love the comments, love the constructive criticisms. And we're working at it. So we're starting the new year with episode 5. And we're going to talk about a few things, mostly about the year in review in 2024 and what we learned, what I learned, what we learned as a team here, and just a little bit of everything. But the first big thing that I learned was out of the hockey world, calling games with my good buddy Steve Sabourin, CKNX.ca. We had quite a playoff run. Hanover Barons, Pollock Division champions. They went on to play the Clarington Eagles in the Smoltz Cup semifinal. The last game of that series was very late April, so that was a long playoff run. And then, of course, the Listowel Cyclones, Sutherland Cup champions, they play into the month of May, which is dynamite as well. It's big boost for CKNX and CKNX.ca. The games on the radio. The biggest challenge or hurdle that Steve and I had was during the regular season. We call one game a week, which is great. It's balanced. It's every Friday. A typical week for me is Wednesday. I do some notes, look them over on Thursday, Friday, the broadcast, and then Saturday, maybe a quick little post-game TikTok or Instagram reel, and we're done. But what happened this playoff run in 2024 was just the amount of games that we had to call in a short period of time. And it was awesome. It was amazing. But what I learned, especially, I know I've talked to Steve about this as well, just the strain on everything around us besides the playoff run. Because once we get to the rink, we put the headset on, it's game on, we're on fire, and we're calling games and we're engaged. But it's getting to the rink, having jobs, working on our job, and then working on family, and just everything got to be a little too much for me personally. Like I said, calling games one day a week, Friday, and then all of a sudden we're calling 4 out of 5 nights. We're calling, in 1 week, I think our record last year was maybe 5 games. And it was a lot, but it was a challenge that was worthwhile taking. Not too often both teams make a push like that. But what I learned the most for me personally was balance. And I struggled a little bit because the number one thing for me as I get to the ripe age of 50 in 2025 is I have to have enough sleep. Yeah, back in the day, sleep was underrated. But now, if I don't sleep, it tends to be a challenge for me. So what happens with me is after I'm used to my 1 game a week Friday, come home, the rest of the week is great. When I go back to back to back, Stratford on a Tuesday night, all of a sudden we're on a bus to Clarington for a whole day, and my rhythm gets thrown out of balance. And then when I don't sleep, I start to make probably the worst food choices ever. And then I don't exercise as much. And then I have a triangle, and at the top, it's sleep is number 1. The other corner is exercise and healthy eating, and the last one is no drugs or alcohol. And if I break one of those, what happens to me is I get slightly challenged with anxiety, depression. If I don't sleep enough, things just don't work for me. If I'm not eating healthy, if I don't drink anyways, I'm not a drinker, and that's not by that I had a challenge with alcohol or drugs. It's just a choice for me. I just probably when the doctor would ask me back in the day how many drinks I have a week, I used to tell him 37, and that was usually in one night, one time a year. And then after I just figured out I remember we had a homecoming here in Durham in 2022, and I had drinks on multiple nights, and I was like down for the next 2 weeks in a row. And then that was because of the alcohol in my system. And then I said, you know what? I only drink once a year anyways. Why bother? So I keep that out. But I have to keep those three things intact. And during that playoff run, number one was the sleep. And all of a sudden, kind of my triangle was falling apart a little bit. And therefore, it was a bit of a struggle. You know, I'm not taking care of myself. Now I have a cold. Now I'm coughing. Now I'm not sleeping well. Then I put my back out because I'm coughing. Sound like a whiny little baby, but it's so important to keep everything intact for me. And that was the number one lesson that I learned. You have to take care of yourself in 2024. Love the playoff run. I love calling games with Steve Sabourin. He's one of the best in the business. But just preparing myself, and if this ever happens again, I'm just going to be ready for it. I hope it happens again, and I'm just going to be ready for it this time. If I need to have a break, or we have other guys that do games and another crew, but just not to be like going to hero mode and just have to call every game, and then putting my health and my work and my family and all that type of stuff on the back burner. So I always have to take care of the important things, and that's the number one rule, the number one thing that I learned as the year started here in 2024 is take care of yourself. And it was the reminder of the playoff run, how it could be such an exciting time, not just for broadcasters, for players, for officials, for fans. Everyone's pumped up. Everyone's going to the rink, and it's such a high. But during that, you have to make sure you take care of yourself. So that's one thing that I learned for sure. And if it ever happens again, I will take care of myself. The second thing in 2024 that made a big difference in the way we do business, and it came to fruition like mid-June, and it was the way we construct our orders and how it was brought to my attention, which makes perfect sense, is we always go into hero mode if there's something that doesn't go as planned. So what would happen is, for example, we have an order, it's 50 t-shirts. All of a sudden, we missed ordering 5, or we made a mistake, or, but we have to get the order out the next day. I would go into hero mode, drive to Toronto, pick up 5 t-shirts, drive back. Meanwhile, the trip and fuel alone cost probably $75 plus my time. We get the order done, we're scrambling, and it happened a few times, and it took one of our team members just to kind of, sit us down, and he goes, do you ever think, it's great you go into hero mode and you get things done and the customers are happy and they have no idea what's going on in the background, but you guys are kind of like running yourselves thin when it comes to energy. And he made a point about, do you ever think it's your system? And I never thought of it that way. And we've been in business almost 30 years. A big part of our business is team business, team apparel, embroidery, printing, and there's so many variables in that line of business. It's not just order a t-shirt in and print a logo on it. There's so many things that go with it. There's emails, there's quotes, there's art, there's files, there's explain to customers the difference between a PDF file, a vector file, a JPEG. You ask a customer for, this has to be PDF, and then they Google how to create a PDF file and they send it to you. It's not that. This is where a graphic designer comes into play, and they're so important. But what we learned in June is hero mode can only get you so far. And eventually you're going to have to change your system. And, it's almost like wishing to lose weight but not do anything about it, continuing to not eat healthy. With our business, it's a paper trail, it's organization. It starts with an estimate. And what we started doing is through our QuickBooks, we started to create a PO system, which has been working really well for us. And for example, I'm on the email, customer, I give them a price, and then we go to the next stage. We get art, we get approval, and it's just creating a system that when we have everything all in one spot, we have the deadline when the customer needs it, the art, the colors. We've made a sample for approval. We send it to them. They write off on it. We've ordered the product from the company, and it's all little checklists. And it kind of sounds like a no-brainer, but when we broke it down and made it into small little steps, and then in our business, sometimes the order's done, great, it's ready for pickup. What did we quote them? Oh, so you got to look back. You got to shuffle through emails. And I know that anyone listening that is in this business or in this type of business, they're like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. But it took me a while to figure that out, because what would happen is there's a mistake. If you don't follow these steps, a mistake's made, and all of a sudden we have to go into hero mode just to get the order out on time, because we always want to make our customers know how important they are. We always want to get the job done right. We put the wrong color on them, I guess those are going in the garbage, reorder. And at the end of the day, you want to stay in business. You have to have a good profit margin. You have to make money. And that's the whole goal when you're in business. And I'm sure some of you have your small business. You're a plumber. You have you're an electrician. You do landscaping. You do all sorts of things. And if you're young and just starting out, make sure you take a couple steamboats, slow down, take a breath, and create some type of system that is organized, that you have every customer in a certain file. And then when the job's done, all you have to do is take your estimate and then you convert it into an invoice. And then in the notes part, we always put the sizing and any special instructions. And it was kind of a wow moment for us, almost 30 years in business. And we're like, holy shit, why didn't we do this sooner? And I think we kind of, or I enjoyed getting into hero mode, because I was like, wow, our customer's going to know that we really care about them. And I'm driving all the way to Toronto, and this really doesn't make financial sense at all. But we did tell the customer to be ready tomorrow. But meanwhile, if I would have took the time and just slowed down a bit, and now we've created a nice sheet. It's a checklist, and everything goes into place. And luckily, since June, we haven't had too many challenges when it comes to following a system. And one of our team members might come up and say, "Hey, where's that logo go on this order? Is it a left chest?" I don't know, look at the PO. Open the PO. Okay, it says left chest. So all these little things in small business that you can do to create a lot less stress. And that's the number one thing that we learned in 2024 moving forward. We made the decision not to go back to our brick and mortar. We made a decision just to focus on our For the Love of the Game brand. And with that, we provide, apparel for construction companies, for school boards, for businesses, big businesses, small businesses, printing, lasering cups. All those things are attention to detail type things. And one small mistake could cost you the whole order. So I just knew it was a matter of time before, we had a mistake that would cost us a lot of money. So slowing down, working on this system the month of June, and I feel like everyone here is on the same page. When we're busy, and then we have our team leader in Zoe. When we get to our big board, it's old school. My vision was something electronic, because I love to super complicate things. But what we've done is we just have two massive calendars on the wall. And then when a PO comes down the system, she gets it, she schedules it in. So every week when we're going to work, it's like, on Monday we're doing this, Tuesday. And I know that sounds like, Johnny, how have you almost made it 30 years and not done something like this? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, but I tell you what, it's working well now, and it's something that any small business should just take a breath and just slow it down a little bit. And if something's not working for you, always go back to your system. What can you do right? What did you do right? What can you differently, and move on? So that was probably the number one revelation in 2024 for our business here in Durham, Ontario. Just slowing it down and making sure the order's done right, and sending approvals, showing it to the customer. Is this how it looks? And so on. So I'm really proud of that, proud of our system. And then moving forward, before we get going, I want to take a little time to have a note from our sponsor. I'm just kidding. We don't have a sponsor. but maybe someday we will. We have a lot of exciting things that are going to happen for 2025, and we're going to launch an idea, and it's probably going to be maybe in February or March. It's totally not what you'd think we would be into, but we're going to drop it, and we're going to see what you think, and we're going to give it a shot. So we're always doing different things here. We're never afraid to try different avenues. So look in the start of the first quarter for something different from Johnny K and everyone here For the Love of the Game. I think you'll, I love it. I love the idea. I hope you love it too. So that would be my, when we talk about the year in review, number one was our playoff run for hockey. That's a side gig that I do. What did I learn? Slow it down. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. If you need rest, ask for it. Number two was changing our system here as we do business. Same idea. Slow it down. Make notes. Have the customer approve everything. Have them sign off on it. Have we ordered the product? Is your quote right? Are we making enough margin? Are we within the timeline? And when we did that, we fell out of hero mode. We just went to, this is our system. This is how we do things, and this is how we get things done. When we get things done right, we make money, and that's always great too. So probably the third thing, what we've learned at the tail end of 2024 is, we're always quoting, and we're always, wanting to get business, and you're trying new things. And I talked to one of my team members just the other day about if we had an awards banquet here at, within our company and with different things that we've done. We went out, we thought outside the box, and we created our own catalog. And in our industry, the apparel business, we always use just, we have 4 or 5 companies. We either send you the link to their catalog, or we have just physical catalogs we give you to them. And I know a lot of our customers like to leaf through a catalog and check it out and see product. But we created our own catalog this year. It was a fall catalog, and it was kind of like our best sellers, our best hits the last 5 years when it comes to the best style of hat, toque, hoodie. And I thought that was a great success. And I felt like we were able to engage with our customers better, narrow it right down. You give a customer a catalog with 120 pages, it's going to take them a while. Our catalog was maybe like 10 pages, and it had everything that, our top-selling hoodie. This is the best-fitting hat. This is what we can do for laser. And I felt like that change really helped us put some orders together and get things done in time for Christmas. And you know what? In respect to our customers, they're no different than us. And they're no different than your customers. Your customers, they're busy. They only have a certain amount of time. They want to get things done. They want you to give them a good quote. They want you to believe that you're giving them fair pricing. They want you to know that, I'm busy. I need you to provide me a good product, a good price, and I trust you. One example of our catalog working for us is a customer that we have, super busy, works 14-hour days. I connect with him. I drop off a catalog. I leave it in his door. A month later, he connects with me. Hey, Johnny, I'd like to get some clothing. Can you meet me at my house for lunch? Go to lunch. I'm waiting in the driveway. He pulls in his trailer and truck. He gets out with his son. They go to the kitchen. I'm in there with them. I have the catalog. They're in the fridge getting food out. They're heating it up because they're busy. They have to eat. I'm in there. He's looking through the catalog. I would like this. How about this? We ordered this last time. And that process took about 15, 20 minutes. I was out. They ate their lunch. They went back to work. 3 weeks later, I dropped the order off, and everything went well. And my point there is everyone's busy, and we have to make the system for the customer easier too. They want to know that they're getting good service, good pricing, and everything done on time, because they're going back to finish building a house. They're not worrying about, will our Christmas order be here for the date of our Christmas party? That's on us. But when we get all the information and we give them a good system to work on, like our catalog, that's something that we've proved to be well for us. So we're going to continue to do that. And that's just another thing that we've learned this year, kind of making it more simpler for our customer. Our website as well, too. I feel like we've done a good job with making it a platform to order, easy when it comes to our associations, giving variety, and just, with the world as it's gone, we went through the COVID era. That pushed us into, we have to be online. We have to be able to do online sales. We have to be able to deliver, provide product. And that 2.5-year challenge of COVID really prepared us for just what we're going through today. All sorts of things. You can order stuff online. We can ship it right to your door. Speaking of shipping, we're at the tail end of December. Canada Post was just ordered back to work by the government, I think. They've been on strike at probably the worst possible time for any small business that does shipping. But again, I feel like we were able to just adjust. We were able to find new ways of doing things. I've been, the last couple of weeks, done over 200 deliveries in southwestern Ontario, met a lot of great people, and we just found a way to get it done because, shipping's really important to us. We print the labels, we go to Canada Post, we drop them off before, and now we just had to change our system. It's still working. The only slight challenge is with the postal strike, it backlogged Purolator, it backlogged UPS, not as much, and all of a sudden, all our orders are taking 2 or 3 days. Stuff's getting delayed, but we're still finding ways to adjust and get it done. So that's the biggest thing in small business and any business is when the shit hits the fan, you have to be able to make a quick adjustment, and you can't be just dwelling on what happened and why did it happen and it sucks and just, being negative about the situation. We just like to find a solution right away, and I think that we've been really good at that for the duration of our business. When something happens, we go into fix-it mode, and we want to fix it. We want to get it right, and we just don't dwell on. We only have so much energy, and, you kick a garbage can for so long, it doesn't get you anywhere. So we get into the mode of trying to find a solution. And some days there are solutions, some days there's not. Some days, you just have to, that's life. I know we did have a conversation about our Christmas run. We've been busy. The system's been working well. The hiccup with the postal strike. And what would we have done differently? There's nothing we could have done differently. I feel like we were set up, and we were busy, but that's just, things happen. We order product in good time, and we're used to getting it in 1 or 2 days. So things just happen. All our customers, if there's been a delay, they've understood, and we just move on. So 2024 in review, I love it. A lot of good things happened. I'm looking forward to 2025. I'm looking forward for some of our new ventures, and I'm looking forward to the podcast. So I hope you like this kind of business talk, year in review style podcast. Hope you continue to listen. And I'm Johnny K for the Love of the Game podcast. Thank you very much. I want to wish you a happy new year, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.